He was handsome, charming, and studied law, which made him the last person anyone would ever expect. But behind that disarming smile was one of America's most notorious killers. This is the story of Ted Bundy, how he fooled a nation, escaped justice, and was finally forced to pay the price for his actions. The name Ted Bundy, born Theodore Robert Colwell in 1946, became infamous in the 1970s. He confessed to dozens of heinous crimes and was ultimately convicted for his acts across several states. Today, we're going to walk through the timeline, his outwardly normal life, the shocking crimes he committed, his daring escapes from custody, the dramatic trials that captured the world's attention, and most importantly, the survivors who bravely rebuilt their lives. Bundy grew up in the Pacific Northwest and, on the surface, appeared to be a model citizen. He was a college student, a volunteer for a crisis hotline, and at one point, even an aspiring law student. These public-facing roles made his crimes all the more terrifying, because he expertly used the charm and perceived respectability to gain the trust of his victims. He created a mask of normalcy that hid a dark and violent secret. The stark contrast between his public image and his private actions is one of the most chilling aspects of his story. Between 1974 and 1978, Bundy moved across Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and Florida, leaving a trail of devastation. He later confessed to around 30 victims, though investigators believe the true number may be much higher and will likely never be known. He developed a disturbing pattern, a method of luring women by creating a false sense of security. He would impersonate authority figures, like a police officer, or pretend to be injured and in need of assistance, wearing a cast or using crutches. He exploited people's kindness and willingness to help. The focus of this story is not on the graphic details of his crimes, but on understanding the pattern of his behavior and the profound, lasting impact it had on so many lives and communities. Bundy's crime spree seemingly ended with a classic police traffic stop in 1975. But his story was far from over. In 1977, he managed to escape from custody not once, but twice. During one of these escapes, he committed further crimes, creating even more victims while on the run. The nation watched in horror. His trials in Florida, which took place between 1979 and 1980, were among the first to be nationally televised. They became a massive media spectacle. The courtroom drama was intensified by Bundy's decision to act as his own co-counsel, mixing his arrogant courtroom antics with the raw, heart-wrenching grief of the victims' families. Ultimately, justice was served. Ted Bundy was convicted for his crimes in Florida and received multiple death sentences after years on death row, filled with interviews, further confessions, and a bizarre public fascination. He was executed in Florida's electric chair on January 24, 1989. While his story has been analyzed and debated for decades, the end of his life marked the closing of a truly dark chapter in American history. While Bundy's name remains infamous, the most important stories to remember are those of the survivors and the families who endured unimaginable pain and loss. Many have since spoken out, sharing their stories of resilience, advocacy, and the long pursuit of justice. Their strength is a powerful reminder that victims and their legacy should never be overshadowed by the notoriety of the perpetrators. They are the true heart of the story. The Ted Bundy case fundamentally changed how law enforcement investigates serial crimes and served as a harsh lesson in how charisma can be used to mask unimaginable violence. It forced society to confront the terrifying reality that monsters don't always look like monsters. If this story raised any questions for you about criminal psychology, warning signs, or the justice system, please share them respectfully in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. if you appreciate responsible true crime history. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this.